Okay, let's talk about a feeling. A feeling I'm pretty sure almost everyone has had. It's this sense that your life is a race, but you never actually remember signing up for it. Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that is, using some really fantastic insights from our source material. All right, first up, a race you didn't join. Let's really try to put a name to this whole feeling, being stuck in a competition that feels like it never even had a starting line.
I mean, seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. This question, man, it gets right to the absolute heart of so much of our modern anxiety, doesn't it? Everything from our jobs to, I don't know, our hobbies, it all feels like there's this constant buzzing pressure to compete. But why? Where's this coming from? Well, the source material breaks it down into this really powerful three-part idea. First, it happens without us even trying. Next, it happens without us wanting it to. We're in the race whether we like it or not. And here's the real kicker. A lot of the time, it happens without us even realizing it. It's just running in the background of our lives.
So, if this whole race is just running on autopilot, what's the engine powering it all? Well, that brings us right to our next section, the comparison machine. And this is the real driver behind all of that anxiety.
And here it is. We finally have a name for it. Automatic comparison. You can almost think of it like the factory default setting for modern life, right? It's this lens we look through that just makes us constantly, subconsciously, measure and rank and score ourselves against pretty much everyone else.
And this just shows you how deep it goes. I mean, it's not just in one little part of our lives, it is everywhere. Suddenly your job feels like a leaderboard for the next promotion. Your relationships, you find yourself comparing them to those perfect couples you see online. Even your lifestyle, what you eat, where you go on vacation, it's like everything suddenly has points attached to it. And social media? Oh man, that's the ultimate endless leaderboard, for sure.
And here's the thing. There's a real emotional cost to all of this. This constant pressure to prove ourselves, it starts to creep into the very places where we should just be able to, exist. A quiet weekend, a nice dinner, even just a walk outside. All of a sudden, these simple things can feel like something you have to perform or optimize.
Okay, but this is where the whole analysis gets really fascinating. Because look, the problem isn't competition itself, right? A little healthy rivalry can be a great thing. No, the problem is the bizarre nature of this new kind of competition. We are, for all intents and purposes, competing against ghosts. This breaks it down so perfectly. Think about it. In a traditional rivalry, like a basketball game or something, you know who you're playing against, you know the rules, and you know when the final buzzer sounds. Game over. But with this modern comparison thing, your opponents, well, they're usually strangers online who don't even know you exist. The rules are totally unwritten and they seem to change every single day. And the most exhausting part, there's no finish line. The game literally never ends. Just let that sink in for a second. We're competing with people who aren't even aware of our existence. I mean, that's the whole ballgame right there. We are pouring so much of our energy into these totally one-sided contests. We're basically shadowboxing with perfectly curated Instagram profiles and these imagined ideals of what we're supposed to be. It's isolating and it is absolutely draining. So, okay, we've kind of diagnosed this really weird problem. What's the takeaway? Where do we go from here? Well, that brings us to our last section, which is all about reframing this whole thing. Life isn't a leaderboard. And boom, there it is. This is really the core message from the source material. Life isn't supposed to be a race. It's not a leaderboard with winners and losers. It's just an experience. That feeling of being in a constant competition, that isn't some fundamental truth about life. It's just a side effect of this automatic comparison mindset that we've all been swimming in for so long. Which leaves us with one last really powerful question to chew on. Once you realize that the race is totally optional, that it's just something created by comparison, you suddenly have the power to just step off the track. So the real question isn't, how do I win? The real question is, if you stopped running this race you never even signed up for, where would you actually want to go?